All right, here is a step-by-step walkthrough of the additional examples. In case you got stuck, feel free to fast forward or pause and rewind however you feel you need to help out. So the first one is find the sum of the measures of the interior angles. So, this is where it's going to start to get, to the point where you got to figure out which formula makes the most sense to use. This is looking for a total of interior. Total of interior, n minus 2 times 180. Okay, that's what we have for the total of interior. So they're telling me it's a 21 gon, okay, whatever that looks like, but I know it's got 21 sides, so that's where, you put your 21, right where the n is. So this is going to be 21 minus 2 times 180, which is 19 times 180, right? So 19 times 180 is 3,420 degrees total. Oops, got cut off there. 3,420 degrees, done. Again, if you know what formula you're supposed to use in the context of the problem, these are pretty simple to do. All right. The second one, find the measure of angle A. We did one a little bit like this. The difference is this one has a little more algebra involved. So I just need to know what the total is. If I know the total, I can do anything. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them. So n minus 2 times 180 is my total. That's my sum. So 5 minus 2 times 180. Right? That's 540 degrees. So my grand total is 540. So this one plus this one plus this one plus this one plus this one is 540. Now you can write it all out. I mean, I'm sure some of you would like to, literally write 6x plus 4 plus 7x plus 4 plus 8x plus 3. I mean, just literally listing them all out. 10x minus 4 plus 4x plus 8 equals 180. But at this point, I think it'd be okay if you just combine like terms kind of on the fly. I think if somebody wrote, 21, 25, 35x plus 8 plus 11 plus 19, plus 15 or whatever it is equals, I wrote 180, I'm sorry, 540, equals 540, then that's fine too. I mean, you're really still setting it up properly. But that's it. That's all it is. You're basically just solving for x the old-fashioned way, and, you just got to actually make sure you don't lose any of the pieces. So what did I say? 13, 21, 31, 35x. And this is 4, 8, 11, minus 4 is 7, plus 8 is 15, equals 540. I'm just going to finish it over here. So that's 35x equals, what's that, 525? So x equals 525 divided by 35. I got 15. Hopefully that's okay. Did I finish the problem? Nope, of course not, because they said to find the measure of angle A. So this is one of those cases where you do need to go one little more step and actually figure out what angle A is. So you got to plug in your 15. 7 times 15 plus 4 is that 109? 109 degrees. Okay. If they ask for all of them, obviously you just have to plug that in for all. We could plug in all of them and just check to make sure it adds up to 540, but I think you can do that part on your own. The key is to set the whole thing up to whatever the total is and realize, based on the number of sides, it's going to determine what the total's got to be. All right, number 3, the sum of the measures of the interior. Okay, so this one's a little interesting. They're actually giving us the sum. Right? This might be the first one we have where we have to kind of go backwards. So maybe make sure you try this one before you just look at the answer, because I think you probably could figure this out. The sum is 1440. I don't know how many sides there are, but you know what I do know? I know the sum is n minus 2 times 180, because I've been working with that for a while now, and I remember it. The sum 1440, I'm not going to put 1440 right here. There's not 1,440 sides, but there are 1,440 degrees. So I'm going to put that right there. Equals n minus 2 times 180. And now you just got a little bit of algebra to do. We need to solve for that n, and right now I cannot get at that n very easily. You have a couple options. Some people like to distribute, right? Distribute the 180 to both parts and then solve for n. But you know what I've seen a lot of people do also? Is they divide by 180 as their first step. And in some ways, I think that might be easier. So do it whichever way you want. Do it whichever way you want, whatever's easier for you. So 1440 divided by 180, 180, I get 8. So 1440 divided by 180 is 8 equals, this was n minus 2. And then all you got to do is add 2 to both sides. So n equals 10. So it'd be a 10-sided figure, otherwise known as a decagon. And that's how you would handle that. If you decide to distribute, that's fine. You'll still get n equals 10. Just do it whichever way makes sense to you. Just don't break any algebra rules, okay? Let's see. This one says find the sum of the measures of the exterior angles. Sum of the measure of the exterior angles of anything. Well, hopefully you caught on that one pretty quick and you realize that's just going to be 360 degrees. Done. The sum of the exterior will always be 360 as long as it's convex, which again, we're pretty much dealing with exclusively. And that takes care of that. How about this one? This one we were just talking about in the last video. Find the measure of each interior angle of a regular pentagon. Pentagon is how many sides? 5. So n minus 2 times 180 gets me the total, and if I divide that by n, I'm going to get each one. Right? This is going to be for each one. Well, n is 5. So here we go. 5 minus 2 times 180 divided by 5 is 3 times 180 divided by 5. And let's see, what's that? 540 divided by 5? Was that 108? You could double check it in the calculator. I think it ends up being 108. And that is, oops, I cut it off there, sorry. That is each interior angle of a regular pentagon. 5 sides. This gets me the total. Divide by 5, because there's 5 angles also, right? However many sides there are is the amount of interior angles you've got. And that's how you split it up. You take that, whatever 3 times 180 is 540, and you literally split that up 5 different ways until you have the whole thing. All right, how about each exterior angle is 30, right? Each exterior angle. Well, I don't know what I don't know what the number of sides are, right? But I know the total's got to be 360. I know this gets me each exterior angle, right? So wouldn't that mean that 360 over n has to equal 30? Right? Each one has to be exactly 30. I already know what each one is. I know it's not 30 sides necessarily, but it's 30 degrees. So there are a couple ways you could do this. The easiest way might be put this over 1 and just cross multiply. Right? So you get 30n equals 360. So n equals, what's that, 12? So there must be 12 sides. Some of you will eventually get the pattern where you just do 360 divided by the angle and you'll get the number of sides. It's the same thing. This really proves it to you though. Alright, and that's that kind. And then the last one, the measure of each interior angle is 144. How many sides are there? This one's a little different. So I have a polygon here. I don't know how many sides there are, but I know each interior angle is 144. 144. Oops, 144. I think the best way to kind of approach this is, maybe the easiest way, would be instead of thinking about what the interior angle is, maybe think about what the exterior angle is, right? If I were to draw the exterior angles, and I don't know how many sides there are, so I'll just draw a couple. But if this is 144, what's this one have to be? If this is the exterior angle and that's the interior angle, those are linear pair, right? So doesn't that make this 36 and this 36? And this 36, and the question you're basically saying is, how many of these does it take to make it all the way around? Well, again, I know the total is 360. Well, how many 36s does it take to get to 360? Well, you're basically now doing a problem like the one before. 360 divided by 36 equals 10. It must have been a decagon to start. Okay? You could do this with the formula, the same formula we used, where did I do that one? Right here in number 5. You could do this and set it equal to 36 and solve it backward. I'm sorry, equal to 144 and solve backwards. But I think historically most people found this method a little bit easier to sort of conceptualize and actually execute. But I'll let you do it whichever way you want as long as it makes sense to you. All right, those are all the examples. Of course, if you need any help, be sure and ask. And I'll see you guys soon.